I was talking to a friend recently and he tells me I constantly feel like I'm running out of time. I'm comparing myself to my peers and I feel unsuccessful. I feel like there is much time left for me, like I'm about to miss the last train on the platform. And he's not even 50, he's in his mid 40s, and by external standards, anybody else looking at him, he's quite successful, but that is how he feels. And I know exactly where this is coming from, and I've personally felt that many times before, more times than I even want to recall. I know where it's coming from, but this is not what this video is about. This video is about what I told him, which is my 2 strategies, how I solved this for myself, and it's working. But before we go there, I want to tell you exactly what's happening. You're running on a clock, but you're not running on your own clock. You're running on a societal clock, societal script, and this clock says 20 to 40 are the generative years. These are the years when you accomplish, you achieve, you give everything out of yourself, you capture life and eat it and spit out the buttons only. That's the time when you have to achieve, and by 60, you're already old and life is starting to sunset. This is the clock that was installed in all of us, but that's a clock that's corresponding to an old era. And now we're entering a new era. What I want you to get from this is you're not running out of time. You're running out of somebody else's time that was installed in you and me. And this time belongs to a different era. So the feeling is real. I'm not dismissing that. I felt that many times before, as I said, but this clock is rapidly becoming outdated because of the new era that we're already entering. So having said that, here's what I told my friend. My first solution is the reframe. My life starts at 60. I'm 51 now. I made a decision about 2 years ago that my life starts at 60, and that gives me 10 more years to germinate, to mature, to build my wisdom, to gather and collect my tools, to prepare. This is the time the bamboo is still in the ground and it takes years for it to put roots down, and then it shoots up in several weeks and it reaches enormous heights. So that's the decision that I personally made. I am now building the tools that I need. I'm building the wisdom, and I have 10 more years or 8 more years, whatever it is. And my life is gonna start at 60. Now, is it true? I don't know. It's a frame that I adopted for myself that gives me more time. And it's working. It's giving me more time. And the anxiety is now gone. And think about it this way. It's like fermentation. From the outside, I make my own sauerkraut at home, and I know exactly how it looks like. But when you put it there, from the outside, it doesn't look like much is happening for days. But inside, the fermentation is working, the bacteria is working, the process is going. It's exactly the same thing. From the outside, looking at you and what's happening in your life, it doesn't look like much is happening. But on the inside, there is a lot happening. And maybe now you're going, but wait a minute, 60, that's what's going on here? You're old at 60, right? Well, let me go into the second thing that I shared with him. So here's the second strategy I shared with my friend, and it connects perfectly with the first strategy, that reframe of my life starts at 60. Because of my knowledge of AI and keeping track of how fast things are developing, I know that we're going to solve longevity within the next 10 years. What does that mean? That means that within 10 years, for every year we're alive, we will be able to extend life for more than 1 year. Does that mean that we're going to live forever? It doesn't mean that. This biology still wears out. It's gonna have to go. But we will be able to live much longer than we live today. What this means is that if we stay healthy, if we maintain our meat suit, our biological machinery, then we will be able to live at least double the time. I personally am not interested in lingering here forever, because at a very grand level, in my quiet moments, to be honest with you, I think this is a pretty boring level. So here's what Peter Diamandis says in relation to this, to longevity being unlocked in the next 10 years. He says, don't die from anything stupid within the next 10 years. And that's the goal, really. Take care of your physical vehicle, because within the next 10 years, we're going to unlock longevity. And then, and this is when I'm connecting it to what I just shared with you, when you move the goalpost in the first reframe to, hey, my life starts at 60, and maybe for you that's 50, I don't know if you're in your 40s or late 30s, whatever. You have at least another 50, 60 years if you take care of this vehicle well for the next 10 years until we unlock longevity. Your life hasn't even started yet. Your life is starting at 60. So let me wrap this up. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel like you're falling behind or like you're not as successful as everybody else and you're running out of time and you're missing on everything. I'm not saying that that's not a valid feeling. It absolutely is. And the invitation is to acknowledge that feeling. But I want to invite you to a different way of thinking in this video. And this different way of thinking corresponds to a different era that we're entering. So I'm asking you to decide, whose timeline are you on? Are you on the society's outdated timeline that's corresponding an old exiting era? Or are you on your own timeline? And the answer to this question is going to decide how you feel about the next 60 years.